The Cold War lasted 45 years, from 1947 to 1991, over a dispute of political ideas. The USSR wanted to remain communist, while the US wanted to stop the spread of communism. JFK was elected president, and his duty was to spread the ideas of democracy and freedom throughout the world, keeping the ideas of communism at bay. However, this goes against Nikita Khrushchev's idea of spreading communism throughout the world, thus beginning the Cuban Missile Crisis. October 16, 1962, the beginning of what may be World War III. Over 150 nuclear missiles in Cuba, aimed and ready to fire at the U.S., a message from the USSR to back away from Cuba. In retaliation, the U.S. planted missiles in Turkey. Many days passed, full of threats being made of possibly launching nuclear weapons at each other. The Cuban Missile Crisis lasted 13 days, from October 16th to October 28th, 1962. The conflict was resolved with two treaties, one being the Limited Nuclear Test Ban Treaty, and the other being the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons.
What are some decisions that Kennedy made in order to stop Cuba from obtaining more nuclear weapons?
Okay, so one of the first things that Kennedy did was to assign his brother the task of dealing with the Russians. So that was Robert Kennedy, who was the Attorney General at that time. And he was able to negotiate with the Russians kind of behind the scenes in secret, if you will. And they both decided to back down. And no one really knows all the negotiations that happened, but the nuclear missile heads that were aimed at the United States were removed, as well as ours that were placed in Turkey aimed at the Russians.
And how do you think Kennedy dealt with this Cuban Missile Crisis personally?
Well, for 13 days, this crisis took place, and Kennedy never left his office, so it was extremely stressful because this could have led to World War III. And due to the background negotiations, they were able to come to an agreement with the Russians and kind of calm the whole situation down.
Why did Cuba have an alliance with Russia, and how close was the U.S. from going to war with Russia?
Ooh, great questions. Well, being a doctor of economics at Cambridge University, I am quite familiar with that. Basically, when it comes down to it, is that Cuba and Russia had very similar military and government views. Also, Russia was able to give Cuba some economic incentives to allow them to store their missiles there. And honestly, that was a little too close to for comfort. Tensions were very high between the U.S. and Russia at that time, and we were very close to war. I remember actually as a kid having to practice for the nuclear bombs going off and duck and cover under our desks. Like, that would have done much good.